Why would you lie to me? I'm speaking out not for myself as being a grieving parent, but for other grieving parents, grieving mothers.
You're welcome.
You tell us a good one. So what's up, everybody, man? It's your boy LaCheston, and we're back for another episode of the What You Mean podcast for a What's New segment. I am your host, LaCheston.
And I'm your co-host, Kim.
And man, we got some people that have stepped into the podcast room with us on this evening, and I don't really know how to put it into perspective on exactly what we're going to be talking about, because I'm pretty much going to let our guests have the reins on, pretty much telling their story. So without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and spin the table real quick and allow for them to go ahead and just introduce themselves. Miss Cynthia, you got the floor.
Okay, hello everybody. My name is Cynthia Barnes.
Hello. My name is Taylor Bennett.
Okay. Taylor Bennett and Miss Cynthia Barnes. So backstory. Okay, I got to get
Context.
backstory. Yeah, I got to get backstory.
Mm-hmm.
So anyhow, Miss Cynthia is actually my nurse in my primary. So
Okay.
we didn't know each other for, I think, probably about 7 8 years. However long I've been with Dr. Odie, that's how long she has been my nurse. So she good people, man. All us guys coming in and see Miss Cynthia. No disrespect to the husband at home if you're listening to this, but we all love Miss Cynthia because she's just so beautiful. we all waiting on her to leave her husband so she can come be one of us.
Now he come up here looking for you.
Don't get any address. But on a more serious note, on this What's New segment, approximately 2 years ago, a guy by the name of Denard Jones extended an invitation for me to be part of, I think what is called, I think it's one of the names is like Faith Action or Faith in Action, and the other one is like Layman's or Peacemakers or something like that. And at the time, I did not know what it was at all. I just pretty much showed up because it was a paid gig. Hey, we need you to take pictures, do video, do this, do that. Okay, cool, I got you. I'm showing up and I'm doing this. And of course, being who I am, I get there and I'm seeing all of these people and I'm seeing these pictures and stuff hanging outside of cars and things like that. So now I'm asking questions like, okay, what have you invited me to be a part of? And kind of Pastor Clark, I knew Pastor Clark through my pastor, him and Denard kind of sort of just gave me a slight overview of exactly what it was. So at the time, I didn't know, you know what I'm saying, like the issue or ongoing issue that exists, I'm going to say not only in Jefferson County or in Birmingham, Alabama, but definitely the world for unsolved homicides. Mm-hmm. And it's essentially what that organization is about raising money to put it in the judicial system so that these people can find out what happened to our people's loved ones. So that's kind of sort of a backstory to kind of sort of set the tone for what we're about to get into and talk about today, you all. And Miss Cynthia is going to come and she's going to tell our story. And you'll probably understand once she starts talking why I actually said what I just said. So I'm going to give you the floor and then we're going to let you tell your story and we're going to start a conversation from there. That's okay?
That's good. Well, again, my name is Cynthia Barnes. Back June 2018, June 18 to be exact, 2018, my son Denard Barnes was gunned down. This June 2022, it'll be 4 years.
Yes, ma'am.
I got that call that morning, June 18th, about 4 o'clock in the morning, saying, put your clothes on. Denard has been shot. I don't think he's going to make it. So when I got there, crowd of people, police, detectives everywhere, my son laying there. Then when you get there, you got detectives running to you, everybody acting as if they're going to do their part as finding out who killed him.
Yes, ma'am.
Well, the next day, the detective came to the house And I was told that he had a video when Denarius was in a club, but he got killed at the service station. And like I tell everybody, he was killed at a service station, which a video should have been taken from there,
Yes, ma'am.
which I was told that they did get.
Okay.
Right across the street from the service station is Google Car Wash. Behind that service station is the fire department. I'm sure there were videos, cameras, like at each one of those points. The detective did tell me he had those videos.
Okay.
Back this February 2022, I finally got a meeting with the assistant chief at the Birmingham Police Department.
Look, after you wrote a letter
Yes.
previously.
Previously, before then, I wrote a letter back in 2021 to the chief of Birmingham.
Okay.
I never got a call from anybody. Nobody reached out to me. In that letter, I did have a person who was willing to testify. But back August 2021, this girl was gunned down. I feel like if someone had reached out to me when I wrote that letter, my son's murder could have been solved. I had to go to the mayor's office to get them to get somebody to meet with me. Back December 2021 was when I finally got to speak with somebody to get a meeting for January. The detective did tell me that he had sent the shell casings out to be tested, that my son's cell phone was sent out to be tested. February 2022, it was just sent out.
Wow. So what you doing your own detective work and you trying to put things in motion for yourself, basically you were getting a response from the Birmingham Police Department that was inaccurate. Like they were not doing what they said that they were supposed to be doing when they told you they was doing it.
Exactly.
Wow.
Exactly.
Wow.
And then you said that the young lady that was willing to testify, she's also gone as well.
Yes,
Wow.
she was killed. But I feel like if somebody had reached out to me when I wrote that letter, his murder could have been solved. I'm not a detective, but I would have collected videos from those different places.
Yes, ma'am.
Why would you lie to me? I'm a note keeper. Everything that you tell me, I write it down. The date, and I write down what you tell me. So after I finally got a meeting with the assistant chief of Birmingham, she had never seen the letter. It never got to her. What happened to it?
Wow.
And that detective, he was demoted. Was that before the meeting or after the meeting?
Before.
Before, he was demoted from that position. And then they told us that they were going to reassign a detective on that case. That detective, we reached out. We haven't heard from him. He would say he would call back. We haven't gotten a response back. So we've had a second meeting and still nothing.
I had a meeting finally when I reached out to the mayor's office. I got one in December. I had another one January, February is when I found out that the shell casings were not sent out.
So they ain't got no ballistics on the shell cases.
They say that they found them and they just sent them out. They say that they just sent the cell phones out. So going back to point one, if only you had not been lying to me and do your job, the guns would have been, the shell casings would have been tested. The phone probably would have been revealed something. Why would you lie to me? I'm speaking out not for myself as being a grieving parent, but for other grieving parents, grieving mothers. The detectives just tell you anything. God forbid anything happen to one of their coworkers, they're on it.
Right. Facts.
They are on it. You will be up and down Bessemer Road trying to find every video that you can. But no, it was my son. That let me know that you didn't care. But you thought I was a parent that didn't care.
So what part of the city did this incident take place in?
Bessemer Road, across from the Goo Car Wash.
It's like,
Yeah, I'm not from here, so you gotta kind of help me to make me know it a little bit.
You'll be coming, like if you know where, what is, it's not.
it's like down from 5 Points West.
Okay.
The Google Car Wash on Bessemer Road.
Okay, you talking about right before you get to like the little
Crossplex?
sportsplex and stuff out there?
Right.
Right.
Further past that, like
Like
past
you're going
Chili's,
towards
Midfield?
Fairfield,
Okay.
Midfield area.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Gotcha. So the case was assigned to Birmingham, as in the city of Birmingham.
The
Yes.
city of Birmingham.
So that's like the West Precinct, I guess. I guess that
I'm not
area.
sure.
Mm.
Well, they do have a precinct in 5 Points, so it's just the city of Birmingham.
Yeah.
Right.
Gotcha.
It's the city of Birmingham.
Yeah.
So I'm not familiar. I'm not a lawyer. I don't know a whole lot about law enforcement per se. I probably know the status quo stuff that the normal consumer would know. When you were writing and sending these letters, Mackenzie, I know that when it comes to law, like I used to work for a law office. Anytime there was an exchange of any type of documents, it was always like a custody thing, like a chain of custody signature. Like, okay, it's going from my hands to your hands, so I'm signing that I gave it to you, and you're signing that you received it.
Right.
So you would think that in cases where you have crimes that result in death or murder, that would be something that also takes place. So when you were sending in these letters, how were you getting them to, like, the city? Were you going down to the station and giving them the letters yourself, or were you mailing them in? How did that go?
That particular letter was mailed,
Okay.
but
And emailed, right? We did email,
no, it was just mailed.
just mailed. Okay.
But as every meeting that I had with them, I had copies. I made sure that everybody got one.
Gotcha.
So when I finally got that meeting in December 2021, the assistant chief said that she had never seen that letter. I even had, and it's something though, when you call to the city of Birmingham, the police department, to try to speak to somebody, it's horrible.
The experience.
I got even names like, okay, I'm a name taker. If I call, I want to know who I'm speaking with.
Okay.
Who is going to leave my message for me? So I have all those names because nobody never respond back to me, even when you call and leave a message. But the bottom line is, I feel like if they had reached out to me when I sent that letter and this young lady was willing to testify, then my son's murder would have been solved. So now, June 18, 2022, his murder has not been solved. That person is still out there.
Wow.
Taylor, so I want you to weigh in a little bit on what's been discussed so far. So what's your relation to Cynthia?
Cynthia's my aunt.
Okay, so have you kind of sort of been like, I can tell because you're here, that you're definitely a big part of her support. So I just want you to kind of sort of like, weigh in a little bit on what she shared with us so far, your take on it, and maybe some things like, because here's the thing about our podcast. Whenever somebody come in here, we want them to leave with something they didn't have when they came in. The same thing. Anything that's pushed out to our listeners, we want for them to hear something that's going to be beneficial to them, that's going to help them, or whatever the case may be. So anything that you're going to say, like moving forward, like we want for if the mayor just so happens to hear the podcast because of what the sensitivity was and what the subject was, that they're hearing something from you guys on something that can probably be done to help fix, you know, those issues that's going forward. Because me and Kim both know, like, we both know good cops. We know good people that try to do their job the best that they can possibly do it. But just like any other thing else in the world, you always got that 10%.
Yeah.
You got that 10% of people in everything that we do, on your job, in your family, your friend group. It don't matter, that they just gonna do the bare minimum to get by,
Right.
and they don't care what the results are. And when it comes to law enforcement, especially homicide, that's something that we definitely need to weed out. Like, you know, Danny Carr. I got opportunity to know Danny Carr personally. You know what I'm saying? And the points and stuff that he used to run for office, I believe that he's really going to do that stuff as the district attorney. You know what I'm saying? Like, those are people that we need to be talking to, you know what I'm saying, when stuff like this happen. You see what I'm saying? Because I don't think like that he would be happy to hear about stuff like that.
Right.
But back to my initial thing was, you know, again, you told us your relation to Cynthia, you know, just weigh in a little bit on everything and how the process has been for you with trying to help her.
The process has been very difficult, just dealing with Birmingham's police department, dealing with detectives that are not efficient and doing their jobs. And, you know, with her grieving, this is the first step for us of getting the word out there, because this is just our experience.
Right.
So imagine how many other people we could touch, or how many other mothers that have experienced the same thing. As you can see, our shirts are Grieving Mothers, Heart Matters. This is her movement. This is her start. This is, you know, her speaking out and using her voice and the platforms and the people she knows to touch other mothers and to get the word out there. And, you know, to go to the next step, whether it's legally, take action, because maybe she needs to be the example to step out to say, hey, you know, I'm not going to take this. You know, my son didn't deserve this.
Right.
So I'm just, you know, I'm proud of her about stepping out and starting her movement. She has a website now with her T-shirts, and I'm just, I'm excited to where this may go for
Just
her.
to let other grieving mothers know, don't give up.
And they don't stand alone. You
Right.
know that she's going to stand with them, and this is her first step with speaking out. So
That's what's up. Kim, you got anything?
When did you start your movement?
Actually, we launched it today.
Oh, wow.
today,
Wow.
Yeah, and she, you know, she reached out to me after she actually called me and told me, boy, you better take that cholesterol medicine. That's what she had called me and said.
Somebody need to fuss at you.
And
But
then,
anyway.
and then she called me about 2 days later, and she was just like, she said, Cheston, it's not a medical call. Is it okay if I just ask you something? I'm like, yeah, Miss Cynthia, you good. And she was like, nobody wants to listen to me. And I was like, okay. At this point, I done stood up in my chair because I got a bad habit of pacing. When I know I'm finna have a conversation, I start pacing a lot. So I get up, I start walking. I'm like, well, what's going on? Tell me what's going on. And she just basically told me, like, nobody wants to listen to the fact that this is the pain that I'm going through.
Right.
This is what I need to help me get to a point where I can actually, like, kind of be, you know, flushed out about it. You know what I'm saying? Like, because as a mom, I know you're never gonna forget it.
Right.
You know, and I told you when you talked to me on the phone, I said I can't act like I understand how you feel or understand what you're going through, and I won't pretend to do that. You know what I'm saying? But I will add this. You know, I told you about my mom's younger twin brothers. The day that we went, my grandfather's birthday is on July 4th, so I would always go to Pittsburgh to kick it with him for his birthday. And the day that I seen his wife, my grandma, sit in the back and say, no mother should ever get a call that they've lost a child to, you know, gun violence. You know what I'm saying? And she immediately broke down. Like, it was like trembling out, kind of like just a few seconds ago when you started to tremble. It just trembled out her mouth. I couldn't even sit there and watch it. You know what I'm saying? So to see that firsthand, you know what I'm saying? That's what I was telling you about how much he meant to me. So, you know, I want for this to hopefully ignite and get more mothers throughout the city of Birmingham to stand united with you, so that you guys can start getting people who know the law,
Right.
people that love pro bono, you know what I'm saying, because it's the right thing to do. People that can show you how to turn what you're building into a full-fledged machine, you know.
Right.
Case in point, when I got to boot camp, when I joined the Marine Corps, boot camp had just changed. You know why it changed? They call them moms, Mothers of America, MOA. And they made them change the rules on how they train Marines. If it was a certain temperature outside, there were certain things that Marines couldn't do because they were losing, these people were losing their 17, 18, 19-year-old kids because of the training that they were going through.
Right.
So those mothers took action. I'm really hoping for the same thing with what you just told me that you're trying to do. That today it starts and it takes action, because, you know, I didn't know that what you just told me was something that you was dealing with when I was coming up there to see for a doctor's visit. I would have never guessed that, because you're so bright and fluffy when you come in there, whatever the case may be, and you know y'all just all around good people. So I'll talk a lot, you know. So and you, if you go listen in our podcast, you always see I got to be quiet because Kim asks actually a lot of great questions. She's a very spiritual person as well. So her insight, you know what I'm saying, on certain stuff, you know, is probably gonna be a little better than mine. So I'm gonna be quiet for a minute. So let me turn it over to you if you got anything.
I'm just absorbing just everything that they've been saying. Like, my heart really goes out to you just with your experience with everything. I lost a friend of mine through with gun violence the same way several years ago, and to just see his mom go through that is always just like, it's gut wrenching.
Right.
You know, it's gut wrenching, and to because you never have closure with it, like, you know,
Right.
to just see that, and this happened like nine years ago, you know, and sometimes I'll think about, like, I'm like, I just talked to you, you know,
Yeah.
and it's just so sad that people don't fight for that person, you know, and I don't have the words, like, I really don't, but thus far in you going through everything, like, what advice would you give to those moms that have been experiencing the same thing that you're going through right now?
To even, like, say if their killer has not been caught, don't give up. Stay on top of it. And these shirts are not only for grieving mothers, they're for someone, it's just for support.
Right.
You see on the back, it has hashtag his name. You can hashtag your loved one name. You know, if you know someone that has been killed, hashtag their name on the back of your shirt. Just let all grieving mothers know that we're praying for them.
Right.
You know, don't give up. Call that police station every day.
Right.
Find out who you need to talk to. Just don't give up.
Right.
I'm not going to give up.
And I'm supposed to. I just, you know, it's already a, you know, last month in the month of May, we talked to a series of mothers from different ends of the spectrum. And it's not to say that, you know what I'm saying, especially black men don't have the things that they have on their shoulders here in America as well. But for a woman, y'all already have a lot to do. And that shouldn't be another task added to the list.
Right.
That you have to call a police station every single day trying to get a response to what's going on. Like, the due diligence part should be somebody following up with you to tell you what's going on.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And again, like, is this I know, man, you talked and you said, hey, you know, is there anything I can't say? And I told you, no, this is my podcast platform. You say how you feel. You say what you want to say. You know, if there's anything that I feel like I need to put in perspective from my end or from Kim's end, again, because we know people in law enforcement, and this podcast is, it's not about bashing the people who do their jobs.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's simply about the fact that there are some things at this point that need to be highlighted, and we just got some gaps in our judicial system when it comes to the law enforcement here in Jefferson County, and you got some folks that are not going to be quiet about it anymore,
Right.
and that's it. So, what direction are you wanting to take your organization in?
I just want to help somebody. I just want grieving mothers to know that I want to help them go through something that God is bringing me out of.
Okay.
It's just sad. To me, it's negligence
It is.
on the police department. Because if, I say shell casings and cell phones and whatever was found was sent out for testing 4 years ago, we probably could be somewhere by now.
All right.
You know, so even though the devil meant it for bad, God meant it for good.
Okay.
Because something good is going to come out of this.
Gotcha. So are there any resources, Taylor, right now that you guys are looking to start to acquire or collab with in order to push the agenda of what the organization is going to be doing?
Not at this moment. Right now, we're still in the midst of fighting
Okay.
and figuring things out and, you know, talking to different people, lawyers, and whoever we need to speak to. But that's the goal, to just show the grieving mothers the way, who to speak to, you know, make sure they're knowledgeable about the next step if certain things occur.
Right.
So that's our goal. But right now we're in the midst of the fight. So whether that's legally or, you know, we're trying to figure it out.
Gotcha. Well, anything I can help you with, Ms. Cynthia, just make sure you let me know.
I just appreciate you giving me this opportunity because, like you said earlier, I've reached out to other activists and they turned me down. They wouldn't listen.
I'm gonna tell you why. Is some people have to maintain a neutral aspect when it comes to just the politics of things. And see, my podcast ain't about politics. It's about having compassion. It's about being real. It's about being 100 or whatever the case may be. Case in point, why I told you again, I don't care what you come on here and you share with us. You know what I'm saying? But if it's something that's said that I feel like needs to be put in perspective so the people that I am connected to don't feel offended, then I'll say what needs to be said. But I'm not in a place, nor is anybody else, to ever tell you how you can feel about something. That's the wrong part. But when you get into the politics side of things, it's just certain things that the same people that probably won't hear you out or allow you to speak on their platform, whatever the case may be, are probably the same people that'll talk to you behind closed doors.
Right.
Because they agree with you, they just can't agree with you in public. And I'm not saying that it's right. I'm just saying, like, just with the small level of politics that I play when it comes to my fraternity and just some businesses and stuff that I've dealt with, that's just how it's the downside of our world. Like, you know what they always say, no good politician. I never wanted to believe that, because at one point in time I wanted to go back home and be the mayor of my hometown. And I want to be the exception. I want to do it the right way. You know what I'm saying? But when you get in there, you got bad people that still exploit
Right.
our good people.
That's true.
You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
it's a hard game to really play. But I can guarantee you that you probably gonna come across a gym in that police department that they have a love for what they do.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? They joined the police department for a specific reason. You know what I'm saying? Just like back in the days, 20, 30 years ago, our teachers and our teacher system were completely different.
Right.
They understood that they were only going to make $30,000, $32,000, $33,000 a year. They weren't teaching for the money. They was teaching because they love to teach.
Right.
Same thing with the police department. We're starting to get a lot of people that get into law enforcement for all the wrong reasons.
Right.
So those are the people that are creating those gaps for us. You know what I'm saying? So my prayer is that you'll come across, or your case is going to come across somebody's desk that's what they do and that's what they want to do.
Right.
It is not saying that it's not about you, but that's their job. That's what they want to do. Like that's
God would
their,
definitely use people.
like that's their thing. You know what I'm saying? And you gonna get that. You know what I'm saying? Because as I always tell people, God blesses us through people.
Right.
That's true.
Right.
That's how He blesses us. He blesses us through people.
Right.
You know, so I believe that it's gonna happen. I hope that you will continue to allow me to be an outlet wherever I can to help you out.
Absolutely.
Since me and Kim have started this podcast, we've met some interesting people. Kim has introduced me to some interesting people. I know it's gonna sound funny, but the dude on the other side of the glass know a lot of people as well. You know what I'm saying? He all fun and games, and he like to talk a lot and have a good time, but he know a lot of people. You know what I'm saying? Again, when people walk out of here, we want them to leave with something that they didn't have when they came. So don't stop doing what you're doing. You know what I'm saying? Most importantly, don't stop praying
Right.
for strength
Right.
and peace.
Right.
Because people can't give you peace.
Right.
The Birmingham Police Department not gonna give you peace. Finding out who took your son is not gonna give you
Right.
peace. You know what I'm saying? So just make sure you keep that. And Miss Taylor, put your hand on the table so everybody can see your ring. Had a little bit of humor in this thing.
I do have one question now. What do you want people to remember about your son that knew, and even those that didn't know him?
Come on, sis.
My son was a really outspoken, fun person. That's why I was like, who would do that to him?
Yeah.
Light up a room.
Yes.
Every room.
Yes. So that's why I couldn't understand. He was out actually at a club, and for whoever killed him tampered with the tire. Therefore, he had to stop to fix the tire.
Wow.
So while in the midst of trying to see what's going on with the tire, he was gunned down.
Wow.
So, I mean, he was a really funny, fun person.
How old was he when
He had just turned 30, May 21st.
no children?
No kids.
Jesus.
He has 2 brothers and a sister, Laquarius, Tiffany, and Desmond.
So
And
you
I
had
just
4
tried-
children?
Yes,
You had 4?
yes.
All right, now, Miss Cynthia.
But, I mean, in spite of, God is still good.
That's
Yeah,
true.
man.
So I'm just here to tell my story, to reach out and just try to help somebody else.
And for the mothers, the grieving mothers, aunts, whoever, document. Keep fighting, you know. Call for those meetings, document everything that's discussed. You have to do your part. That way you keep a paper trail, whether that's emailing, sending letters, but just make sure you document the process.
Every
That
time
helps a
you
lot.
do go to a meeting, make sure you get a card from everybody that's sitting at your table that you are speaking with that day. Even if it's been a year, 2 years, 3 years, go back and reach out right now,
Yeah.
because it's not too late. Because what happens is, it depends on the person. If they don't think you care after a few months or a year, if you haven't heard from them, then they're not gonna care.
Wow.
You know, so it's sad that it took that long even for me to get a meeting with somebody.
Yeah.
After all the emails and the paper pushing that I did. You know, so my thing is, what's gonna happen? What's gonna happen to the detective that told me all those lies?
Wow. So you want him to be held accountable as well?
Well,
Yes.
he was demoted before that, so
I'm
he's
so glad
already-
y'all didn't come in here saying no names too, because that's
Oh,
gonna
no.
add more work for me. I'm so glad y'all didn't do that.
I'm not gonna say
No.
no names.
Yeah, I'm so glad you didn't do that, because I would have been having to go back and edit and beep, 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 beep.
No.
But
So-
yeah, so he was already in the midst of some other things that he got demoted for. And I think you found that out at that meeting, right?
Yes.
And that's when they told.
The meeting with the chief, the
Yes.
assistant chief.
Yes.
Okay.
And then once we had our first meeting, they had a meeting with him. So that's when we learned that he said he didn't tell me all that stuff.
He denied it.
He denied everything, but I had it documented. And I have witness.
Wow.
But my thing, what's going to happen? Is that okay? Are you telling me that's okay? So, and another thing, after they put another detective on the case, when I did speak to him, he told me he couldn't find the file. I never spoke to him again. Is that okay? No. I'm going to keep pushing.
Supposed to.
Right.
Supposed to. Because I know I was looking up, before you got here, I just wanted to look up a little bit more information on the Peacemakers and, just trying to sort of, look at some overall stuff. And while I was doing that, I seen that and please don't quote me on this. It's either one or the two, but it said it was either 50 or 60 homicides in 2021 that have not been, they don't know what's going on with them.
Because they're not doing the footwork. Go grab the videos. Ride up and down the street as if it was your coworker.
Or a family member.
Exactly.
Right.
So
I'm heartbroken. I'm upset. Yes, it's been 4 years almost, but it's not a day that don't go by that I don't think about my child.
yes, ma'am.
And I don't think about what these detectives could have done. It could have been solved by now. No, but you just want to push it to the side. You're not listening to me.
Yes, ma'am.
So yes, I'm mad. I'm upset. It's negligence on their part. 4 years ago, and you still have not sent any shell casings out or a cell phone.
Wow. Wow. Now you got me speechless. And I know I'm always got
mean-
something to say.
How did you? You said that there was a young lady that was willing to testify at a point. How did you find that information out?
My daughter was getting her hair done.
Mm-hmm.
And this young lady came in the shop and was going to get her hair done. So she went to my daughter and she said, I want to tell you something, but I don't know how.
Mm-hmm.
So Tiffany was like, what? She said, I don't know. So probably a few minutes later, she went back to Tiffany and showed her a picture of who did it.
Wow.
Wow.
That's when we reached out to the second detective that was on the case. So when we called him, he said he couldn't find the file. Did he try to call us back? No. So when I did speak to him after I got this meeting with the mayor, from the mayor's office, he called my phone to give me a time. He was so ugly to me. But when I did get in that meeting, I said, don't you ever call my phone like that again. I'm not the criminal.
Wow.
They took him off the case. You're not going to call me and talk to me any kind of way.
So have you had any correspondence with the mayor's office that have been anybody inside the mayor's office trying to help you out as far as that goes?
Not, well, a few days later, I got that call to see, did I get the meeting?
Mm-hmm.
And that was it from the mayor's office.
Got you. Well, they say when you can't get what you want in one place, go over their head.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
So, and that normally tick people off.
Right.
I know when I was in the military, the last thing you wanted for stuff to roll downhill, and that ain't the way they said it.
Right.
So, so, I again salute you for your strength. I am wishing you nothing but the best into getting your organization off the ground. I'm hoping I get to hear about some seminars that you're having, just some strength building things to uplift to other mothers and stuff like that. And in the process of doing it, man, you know, one of the weirdest things that I've noticed over time is that we only see and hear about the women that are calling each other the bad bees and the ones that's fighting and keeping up drama.
Right.
But on the flip side of that coin, it's a lot of women that stick together and uplift each other and do a lot of positive stuff.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So if any of those women are listening to this podcast, I'm hoping that they'll reach out to you. And with that being said, if there is somebody that's listening that wants to get involved or wants to help you in any kind of way, do y'all have a point of contact or a way for them to get in contact with y'all?
Yes. You can contact myself. I'll be taking messages for Cynthia at 205-586-1863.
Okay.
And that's again 205-586-1863.
And my book is coming soon.
You writing a book too?
It's coming.
You're writing a book too. I'm gonna tell Odie you sit up there writing a book on company time.
On the clock.
We're gonna get us one bond while we in here.
You're doing the photography for it.
Whatever I can do to help, man. Like I said, you know, good people are hard to find, you know what I'm saying? But you know, I'm a very organized and business oriented person. So definitely take care of the business aspect of stuff so that doesn't stop you from getting in certain doors. You know what I'm saying? And certain people ain't gonna help you just because you ain't got an EIN. Right. Just because you ain't you on the profit side or the non-profit side, like they want to know before they start being like, okay, we're gonna do this, because it's definitely gonna take money to do what you're trying to do. But I don't want for any of that to triumph the vision or the idea that you have, because what you're doing, it needs to be done. You know what I'm saying? Like, we get held accountable at the jobs we work at, and if we don't do what we supposed to do at our job, we get fired.
Right.
So if you choose you want to be a police officer and you want to be a detective, then you need to do your job.
Exactly.
And I don't want to act like I don't understand the workload for them neither. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of times you don't know until you're in it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So, and I'm not saying that what has happened to you is right. I'm just saying, like, everybody got their own perspective, things that they do in their particular fields and their jobs, and sometimes it can be extremely overwhelming. So I say to that, you know, if you don't got the skin for it, or if you don't got the fortitude for it,
Right.
then you need to just gradually step away from it, because what that does is it gives the Birmingham Police Department a bad name because you're not doing your job.
Right.
Right.
What about the other 70% that's out there
some
going out there
good.
grinding every day?
Right.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Doing what they're supposed to do, showing up where they're supposed to show up, and you know what I'm saying, treating people how they're supposed to treat them
Exactly.
at common stops, and you know, things of that nature. You know, and you know, they say it in church all the time. You can do a million things right,
There you go.
but folks gonna remember that one bad.
Mm-hmm.
They're gonna remember that one bad. So, you know, you ain't the first person that's had an issue or got an issue currently with I ain't gonna just say Birmingham Police Department. Police departments all across the world.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? We just want for our city to kind of sort of take some action, and the people that can push the envelope to go ahead and push the envelope.
Right.
So with that being said, man, we're gonna go ahead and get ready to turn the corner, man. So if you do me a quick finger, man, just give me let's see. We like to try to end it where we kind of always kind of sort of like whatever the subject was based on, you know, ask for our guests to kind of sort of drop like, you know, 2 or 3 gems, or you know what I'm saying. So what I'm gonna say in your case is I just want you to, being that you're weathering the storm, you know what I'm saying, because you're definitely walking through it. You know what I'm saying? You're not stopping and sitting and just, you know what I'm saying, allowing yourself to be completely depressed, because we know what that can lead to.
Right.
You just see what I'm saying? I want you to just encourage, if you can encourage one mother right now that's listening, just give her some words of affirmation, you know, words of inspiration, and and inspire right now in this moment. And then when you get done, Miss Taylor, we're gonna run it over to you. And I want you to tell the people who you are one more time. Tell them about the organization and how they can contact y'all if they want to help or support one more time. And then we'll get ready to close out, okay?
Okay.
All right, you got it.
Okay, I just want them to know that there's not a day that they go by that I do not pray for grieving mothers. Because it's hard. I know there's not a day that go by that they do not think about their child. I just want you to just know, just say for instance, I work in a busy doctor's office. I don't look like what I'm going through.
Amen.
You know, a lot of people in that doctor's office does not know that I had a son to be killed. You know, because I wake up every day and I pray and I ask God for strength. You got to do that, because you'll grieve yourself to death. So I just want you to know that I support you. I pray for you every day, and just, you know, try to continue to ask God for strength, and He'll give it to you.
Yes, ma'am.
And I'm just so thankful. I'm so grateful to Taylor. She's always right by my side.
Woo woo.
And I'm thankful for my family, my husband, my kids, my siblings. My dad is still living, and he's very supportive.
Wow.
And I'm just so grateful to my family. All of them have purchased shirts, so we're already on the move.
Okay.
I've got orders through my website already, and it just launched today, thanks to you.
That's what's up,
And
man.
I'm so grateful, and I ask God to continue to bless you
I appreciate
and your
it.
staff.
I receive it.
Amen.
I receive it.
Okay, again, my name is Taylor Bennett. If you all need to contact us, any questions, any advice or anything, you can contact us at 205-586-1863.
And what's the website?
The website is grievingmomsheartmatters.com.
Okay. Well, there you got it, good people, man. We're going to actually, if you are listening to this through your ears, headphones, whatever you're doing, podcast-wise, I'm going to go ahead and just drop that information down in the description of this podcast. So if you want to go and support that movement, the website and the contact number will be there. And you already know, if you're looking at us on YouTube, all you got to do is click down and you can see it in the description, you know, and just click that link and it'll go straight to it, man. So in the meantime, between time, man, this is a great movement here in the city of Birmingham. If you're listening and you're across on the other side of the world, man, and you just heard the story and heard the cry, I want to challenge you to reach out and see what way you can support because everybody can do a little bit of something. A little bit of knowledge with them just getting the organization moving in a positive direction could definitely be great for them. You got any closing remarks?
I just want to commend y'all again for just coming on and being brave enough and bold enough to share your story. And again, like, my heart goes out to y'all. Y'all are in my prayers.
Thank
and
you.
I'm speaking Psalm 91, Psalm 34
Amen.
Thank
over you, your
Amen.
family. You know,
Thank you.
Look at her.
Hey, listen, it's embedded in me. Okay? It ain't going nowhere. And just thank y'all, you know, and I'm gonna continue to pray for y'all's healing
Thank you.
and peace in the situation.
Thanks.
You know.
Well, that's what it is, good people, man. Y'all already know, man. If you have not hit the subscribe button, the like button, or you're not following and supporting us, do that. We need that from you, man. But if you are already part of the family, we say thank you here from the What You Mean podcast. And until next time, I'm your boy, LaCheston.
I'm your co-host, Kim.
You already know what it is. Peace.